Hey everybody, it's Bolt here. I'm here with my good friends today, the bully, the one and the only Cole Stoner Man. How you doing?
Hi.
You're really low, they can't hear you.
Hi.
No, you're good. Now we have the one and the only Chris Mullins Jr. How you doing, friendo?
How's it going?
We got them all popped up, all ready for some Chikara action. But that's not it. We have a bonus friendo here today. The one and the only, it's just Lenny. How you doing, buddy?
Hi, I'm Lenny.
You're just Lenny. Nothing
It's
else.
just Lenny.
I'm
Nothing
here as
else.
well.
John's here actually. Uncle John
Oh
making
man,
his
Yeah.
plot
return.
twist, a bonus
A,
friend.
a bonus friend. So, friendos, what should we do here? Should we do a battle royale, a four-way dance, elimination?
I think you should go for a battle royale.
Okay, so we're trying out the Chikara Action Arcade Wrestling game.
Hard.
What?
Hard difficulty.
Hard difficulty. Well, I'm gonna have the AI fight it because I don't know. Maybe I'll be one person in there. I'll give a bike kick. We'll do world champ. We'll do national championship because we already have a world champion. It's the number 2 pencil. Yeah. So how do I even describe this game? I'm just gonna let Just Lenny describe this while we pick out some participants here. I'll pick out my boy that I'm gonna play as here, and you tell people a bit about this game since you're the aficionado.
Like,
here.
do I gotta go to the whole history of Chikara?
No, just tell us how long we've been waiting for this game, production, now it's out, you know.
Okay, so this game was originally announced as a Kickstarter project from Action Arcade Wrestling. They're known for their indie titles on the Xbox and probably on the PlayStation Store somewhere. They were known for 2 games, Action Arcade Wrestling 1 and 2. And they teamed up with, small independent wrestling company Chikara to make a Chikara video game. And they announced that it was going to be on the Unreal Engine. And they put up a Kickstarter, and crowdfunded it, and it reached its goal. I think it made like a little bit, like I want to say like 5% over its original amount, which I think it was like $10,000 or so.
I mean, it's pretty impressive, especially for, I don't know, I'd say local or small time wrestling company. I figure a good bit of wrestling fans know what Chikara is, right?
Well, I mean,
I don't
like
know.
I think now a lot of people know a lot about Chikara because of the King of Trios.
Yeah,
They're like a worldwide thing, but it's still like a very niche
like
Philadelphia
cult
company.
following maybe.
Yeah. So they've been working on this game for like 4 years, making basically a capable wrestling game. Basically, this game is the Action Arcade games in the Unreal Engine with better looking graphics than the graphics they worked with in their other engine. And it had like some technical difficulties with release. As the time of this video is coming out, it released on a Tuesday,
Yep.
October 15th, and it was supposed to release last week, and it unfortunately dealt with some Steam issues because Steam's garbage, and shots fired. But it was dealing with some Steam issues. Now it's released here, and it's been getting a lot of positive reception, and has had a giant creative sweep. Which I imagine Dom will go into later on, since he randomly brought up a number 2 pencil.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so a bit about my perspective now that we have just Lenny and his biased
Or
opinion.
you could just call me Lenny.
No, we discussed this before. You wanted to be called just Lenny. So he's right. The game is again actually a bit of positive reception. It's a breath of fresh air for a wrestling game. It looks different. It feels different. I would say compared to Fire Pro, it's much easier to learn and play. I played the tutorial for about a good 5 minutes and instantly know kind of how to play. Whereas Fire Pro, I still, like a year later, can't tell you at all really how to play that game. The game, it's only been out a day. Essentially, there's still some problems with it. As you can see, these 2 guys right here are just, they're dead. I don't know what they're doing. I can't even get to these 2 guys.
Yeah, this is on hard
Actually,
difficulty, too.
the difficulties don't seem like they really matter, honestly. like hard and normal and easy kind of all feel the same right now. There's a little bit of stutter problems, nothing like really too noticeable though. I think it's more of when you add in the custom wrestlers or a ton of people in the ring. That's when it really gets noticeable itself. As for customization, it's all done through their like creation suite, kind of like with WWE, you know, it does with the 2K games. I'm not a big fan of it that way, honestly, because there's a 60 people a day cap, which kind of stinks. Not sure. It's looking like you might be able to just go ham and download as many people as you please to fill up. You know, there's not going to be like a certain limit of people you can have, but
Unless consoles.
yeah, unless you get the consoles, because it's like that with Fire Pro.
Yeah.
You know, but if it was on the workshop, there wouldn't be a limit at all. So you're gonna have to be patient, you know, whenever you play the game, because there's a ton of like it's only been a day and there's so much good stuff on this workshop, and there's only gonna be more. So yeah, I think that'll be one kind of downside to it, but maybe they'll up it from 60 downloads a day to 100. So
I just want to state that this game isn't trying to go for like super realism. If you can
oh
tell,
no, it's arcade.
It's not trying. It's trying to be a fun, like playable video game that you can just like pick up with friends or online people. And you know, it's not trying to compete with the WWE style graphics or the complexity of Fire Pro Wrestling. It's just a wrestling game that's trying to be fun, which thank God that we're getting those, especially now that there's a giant debacle with this year's 2K 2020. You know, especially with the graphical overhaul.
I will say that in terms of Fire Pro, you're gonna get more of a simulation game. With WWE, you're gonna get more realism. In this game, people said that Fire Pro was more arcadey, but I might actually say that this game feels more arcadey, especially when we get into like the weapons here. We have light tubes, lightsabers, axes, tables and whatnot. All the stuff you kind of expect in a wrestling game. There's not a crazy amount of game modes right now, like no ladder matches or like table matches. Like you can do some table stuff in here and have all the weapons. You're not gonna. There's no DQ in the game, as far as what I can tell right now. It's simply pin your dude and win. I think there's a submission thing, but I haven't gone in depth with that. Actually, this guy here, Oleg Usurper, something cool that this game does that no other wrestling game does in its way. So with 2K, you'd normally play and you get VC, or if you're any normal human being, you would just hit Y and use the accelerator or whatever and unlock everybody right off the get-go. Fire Pro, I think there's like maybe a couple people you can unlock by playing the tutorial. But this game, you actually just, as you play the game, you'll unlock new characters, which is actually really cool. Because I know there's some people that were missing, like Jervis Cottonbelly, right off the bat, who I guarantee you, because I saw Zach play as him in the beta they had, so I know he's going to be a playable character some way. But
I think it's kind of similar to how TNA Impact would unlock people, where if you gain a certain amount of points, and then it'd be like, oh, you unlocked Bubba Ray. Congratulations.
I thought you just had to play the story mode for that one. I never been that game. So.
Well, that's what a lot of games used to be. Like, you had to play the story mode to unlock half the roster. They'd give you a bunch of guys, but then they'd be like, well, some of these other cool guys that you want, you're going to have to unlock them. Play the story.
So this was one problem that I was talking about here, is that so these two guys have been dead basically the entire match. Looks like we've basically killed off was it Mike Quackenbush, Sola Darling, and Officer Warren, I think his name is. And yeah, it's down to me. Oh, he's back alive. It's basically me and those ice creams pulling off most of the show here. In order to do your finisher, you need to hit
Someone
X.
say ice cream?
A little bit of the chubbly. Most of the game is done with X and A, and the analog stick, really. Oh! I think we're gonna eliminate him. Come on! I don't think I might actually switch out the match here though, just because it's not gonna be the best representation. I have had one fatal error crash in this game. On top of it, like the sounds don't seem like they made much of a difference. I actually had to go and manually do all that to even hear anything. So here's a bit about my profile. You see the rank progress there, only level 2.
I imagine with most of the ranks, if you get up a certain level, it will unlock a character. Or at least, that's my prediction for the future.
Yeah, yeah, I'd imagine. Well, there was something where like I could unlock a new taunt, so that was pretty cool. There, let's go in here. This does take a little bit for me. Zach said for him it didn't take as long as it's taking for me. So I don't know. Might just
I think he was just trying to talk some crap to you.
Or what? Yeah, he's flexing on me on that one. I got him in WWE and Fire Pro, and he's got me in Chikara when it comes to the speeds for everything. So, but let's see. Hopefully, we can connect to the server soon enough. I'm trying to think of other things to comment on this game from what I've played or seen Zach play so far. So yeah, we can see
the customization sweep is
amazing. It's amazing.
Okay, so basically, the customization sweep is an upgrade from their last project. Originally, Action Arcade Wrestling 1 and 2. If you wanted to create characters, like really good-looking characters, you would actually have to transport the game onto your USB. If you're like me and played it on the Xbox, and then transfer it to your PC. Then they had a lot of their customization stuff, like if you want to put like a texture on a person, would be the exact same layout from WWF No Mercy. And you place it on, put it on the character, put it in the USB, and it would be on. In this, the customization is very reminiscent of the Japanese video games, where like it's seemingly complex, but you could theoretically make everything. I mean, look at Akiman, look at that pencil.
I mean, yeah, we made this pencil might actually be the best thing. Like, look at it. It's pretty darn good pencil.
No, the best one is Suplexitron 9000.
Oh yeah, okay. So we'll do one-on-one.
Was the winner of the Chikara Creative Character Contest.
Yeah. Inflatable bat. We'll do purple sword, and we'll do an axe just because we can. We'll do the national championship, which nobody won. Yeah. And we'll do all right here because I don't have them sorted. You can actually sort them, like put them in little companies.
Cool. We could do that in the future. Now that's the Suplexitron 9000.
And we'll put them against Punk here, or Dr. Cube. I like Dr. Cube a lot.
Oh no, I want the main of. Oh damn, I wanted the main event, the pencil versus
the
robot.
The Suplexitron. It's hard playing with the pencil against him, especially when I didn't know how to play the game that much. So, let's slap him real quick. Irish whip him, come on.
I love that right now companies are getting like
their own video games.
Yeah, like IQ Big Battle has its own video game now, and it's not a wrestling game. It's like an RPG, but it's still really cool to see that indie companies are getting a chance to just shine in the video game market.
Dude, I just cut him with a lightsaber in a wrestling game. Let's think about that. And the game actually looks good too. So
I remember that now. I was the main defender of this game for a long while, and you guys, specifically Dom and Zach, would just say, "Well, this game's never gonna come out," like it's never gonna be released, and then
It's because it's been years, so I just never was
4 years for a very small team. You're not gonna expect a diamond to be made in a week.
Yeah. Especially, I like to say that for as little problems as this game has, aside from maybe like the small one or two I've mentioned, like it's very playable. It's more playable than most indie wrestling games. I'll say that. I'd say it's definitely on the higher echelon of wrestling games.
It's definitely way better than 5-star wrestling.
I don't think I've heard of that one or played that one. I think this inflatable bat here, it needs to be replaced as an inflatable fish. I like how there's actually a sound for it too. So come on, get back up.
I love that. I love that we got a wiffle ball bat.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to get that axe, honestly, too, though. No, don't get the resilience. Oh, stupid Dr. Cube. I think I actually broke the wiffle ball bat. Come on. So something interesting is that you can only get out of the ring on the left or right side. You cannot get from the top or bottom. You can't even go to the top actually at all. I haven't had any luck going over there. I might actually try that in a second.
Well, I think it's because it's in a 2D plane, even though it's a 3D game.
Yeah. See, I can't go over there. So, oh shoot.
Well, if you do, you would just be lost incredibly. What does Dr. Cube do?
I don't know at all.
Well, he's in mad scientist. I don't
Yeah, he's a mad scientist. We'll just ignore him. Oh, got him good. There is no blood in this game, as far as I can tell. So
there must be, honestly. But you know,
I mean, I have an axe. It
really
would be crazy at that point, right? So.
Oh yeah, that'd be a little too. That's gonna be a mod when someone just.
What the Chikara decapitation mod or something?
Decapitation.
No breathing. Come on, bunch.
Are we live or is this being filmed?
No, this is film. Chris is in a whole different dimension right now. He doesn't.
Chris is always in a different dimension.
Because there's a lot of news right now that I could be breaking.
We'll wait for that one. We'll save that one, buddy. Oh, what the heck's going on?
Okay.
Okay, you low blowed me there.
I'm just saying, I just saw two very, very gigantic things.
All right.
Oh, Euro on the Suplexatron.
I know the European uppercut. I'm getting my butt kicked here because Chris got me distracted for a hot second. I like these little power-up things. I think that's definitely really cool. Definitely the spots also part of the match. I'm not really following them, but
you could also turn them off.
Yeah.
Which they gave you a lot of options to work with. This is basically, I think they kind of were inspired by the mechanic in Kaneko Man, like the Ultimate Muscle games, because you could pick up like power-ups in there as well.
Oh, that's cool. So something I didn't notice is that I guess he was doing the same move so many times that it auto-reversed him, which is something that I was actually I wasn't really sure how to comment on this game when it came to reversals because I haven't really seen that kind of.
It's better than WWE games where it's automatically going to be.
So I just have my finisher there. I think that might be it for Dr. Cube.
No.
Got him, dude. And look at this. Look at this victory right here. We get some confetti. We get pyro. My goodness, it's Suplexatron. No wonder.
Every night, it's WrestleMania win. Every night.
Every night. All right, there we go. I didn't level up. Apparently, I didn't have that great of a match. So, but
so they have a customization ring as well, right?
Yeah. They do. We'll get into that in a different part here. I think this is just initial, like gameplay first look and everything. Mostly from you and I, because I'm the one playing, you're the one with the experience.
Yeah,
Chris is here for the confused factor, and Cole was here for moral support, and John was here for John was here so I could use Uncle John in the hashtags.
I'm here to break the big news.
So, all right, everybody. Final thoughts for the Chikara Action Arcade Wrestling game. It's only day one, so don't be too hard on it, but definitely, give the insight here because the game does cost $15, but if you buy it right now, I believe within the first couple days, it's going to be a little cheaper.
Off.
Yeah, it's about like $13 around there.
Honestly, I think it's a great buy. I would buy this over the big AAA developer game that's coming out.
You're really against that right now. I wasn't even gonna mention it at all. I was just gonna.
Oh no, I'm gonna be support your indie wrestling companies and support your indie wrestling games.
And I'm gonna be that guy to just say support wrestling overall.
I'm gonna be that guy to go out there and say, buy the better game, guys. You know what it is.
Yeah, it's called Action Arcade Wrestling. It's got.
Are you getting paid for this?
No, I'm not getting paid for this.
Oh, okay.
Are you getting paid for this, Sean? Are you on the payroll?
You gotta.
If I was getting paid for this, I would be a lot nicer. But I didn't talk about the bugs and everything.
I know someone who's not on the payroll anymore.
Yeah, Lenny's not. Lenny's on the payroll after this.
Yeah, gotta impress the big wig. So, yeah.
Man, those big wigs are like two indie guys, like two indie video game developers.
All right. Remember, hire El Jabroni.